Hey.
Woo, woo!
Welcome to Woman Crush
Every day,
where we discuss queer media, especially when it is black and especially when it is woman. I am Tang, aka Shambi Scribe.
I am Allison, aka Al Woo.
And today we are going to talk about the L Word Generation Q Season 2, Episode 8.
Woo!
But first we gonna give some shout outs.
Yes, to all the new people who joined us within the past week. So shout out y'all for subscribing to the channel. Y'all, we really do this because of the conversation and the family and the community that comes along with doing this stuff. Like, it feels great. So thank you so much for tuning in and rocking with us each week. What up, vintage inspiration from Denver? Actually, yo, Denver's a sweet city, yo.
We've been talking about Denver. I want to live in Denver.
It's a great city. But we're not going to get into all that right now. shout out to, but shout out to Jasmine Stewart for following us this past week. And yo, shout out Jasmine. That's like the homie. So woo woo, I see you. Sade Howell, thank you for joining us. And Paige Hall, thank you for subscribing to the channel in the past week.
Yeah.
It was cool because you were with us. We were in the conversation last week. And then you were like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and tap that subscribe. So much love. Thank you so much for joining us. And yeah.
Let's get into the episode.
Let's get into it. Episode 8. Let's go.
Episode 8. So we're going to start with favorite moments. So what was your favorite moment?
Okay, so my favorite moment from this episode, it was hard to say because, you know, last week's episode was such a dog-ass episode. Like, it really took me through all the emotions. Like, between episode 6, like 5, 6, 7, I was like, ooh, y'all, thank you. So this episode,
a bit of a snore.
It didn't hit me like the last ones. However, it still has some really dope moments. So I think my favorite moment of this episode, I would say, was the entire scene of that book release.
Yes.
Like, there were so many little things that happened in Alice's book release. So, and that was, a big chunk of what this episode was based around. So, but we have Alice and Tom going through all of their big, back and forth. Well, in the last episode, Alice started sleeping with Nat
again.
And
we all know that was a mistake.
That went crazy. So Alice is coming clean with Tom and telling him what time it is. It's like, hey, what's happening. I thought it was a really dope moment when after she revealed to him what was going on, and he was like, yo, are the rules different? Are the rules different for men, And it's like, yes, the rules are different. Chill out. Okay. But
she had to land on no.
Yeah.
I mean, because in the grand scheme of things, it's not different. It's not different. You have to give him the same courteousness. And Alice went after Tom. It's not like Tom came up on Alice and she was like, I don't know if I'm still into men. It's like, no, I'm bisexual. I'm feeling Tom.
That's true.
He's playing me, he's going to be my wingman. And I was like, no, I'm trying to sit on it. Okay. That's what I'm trying to do. So I get where Tom is like, don't try to gaslight me with your confusion. No, you grown and you like me and you came on to me. And I get it. Identity crises, and I think we're going to get into it. But I also feel like I was proud of him for not being too afraid to call her out and say, no, you got to treat me well.
I totally agree with that. And I think what I'm about to say is definitely projecting onto Tom's character. But I also feel like Tom's character, and this is the dyke in me talking.
It's the dyke in me.
It's the dyke in me talking. That's like, okay, Tom's character is playing like, no, I'm the cool, nice guy. I don't like to start too much shit, But then if you really go and give him any attention, then it's like, you're mine now. You belong to me. You're my property, woman. And I feel like the only time we see Tom really buck up and be like, no, this me, this mine. Like, chill out. I'm the man now. Is, I don't know. I don't like that he's choosing this moment to be like, why can't you make me your number one? And it's like, because bro, you really
dudes just don't compare.
Sorry.
I mean, I'm not bisexual, so I just don't feel it, but
you know what I'm saying? Like, one, he didn't fight for Alice. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Alice advocated for him, and then he's like, wait, but me. It's like, no, man, if you really wanted Alice, then really stand up back and be like, I want Alice. You know what I mean? But
the only thing I'll say though is when he was asking Alice about the book, and about, she started kind of telling him what was going on with Nat, and that Nat wanted to be Polly, and he kind of called her out like, is that what you want? Because I know I couldn't do it. So I do feel like he put out there that he's an exclusive kind of dude.
that's true.
But I do think it is very important when dating to determine if you are sexually exclusive or not. Because if you don't say that you are, then you have to assume that the other person is free to do whatever they want with their parts. And you don't have a say. Some people will say you don't have a say up until somebody's married, but I think it's courteous to communicate.
Yeah, that's fair. Absolutely. So I don't know. I feel like I did need to say, like, I really don't know where Tom is headed with this. I feel like he might be playing the nice guy card, because dudes they can play the nice guy card up until it's really not a nice guy,
and it's possessive.
You know, it's It's possessive, creepy guy who actually needs to calm down. So yes. I hope that that's not that. Those aren't necessarily the vibes that I'm getting from Tom's character, but I also know I've seen it in dudes in real life.
Yeah.
The end. So let's see how this unfolds. But right now, he's really like, nah, you me, you mine. And it's like, wait, she built a whole identity in, like, not even identity, but like a fan base, a show. She wrote a book. Like, she is queer.
Yeah. And you've been in New York and you didn't realize that something was up. Not to say that y'all are all on the phone all the time or anything like that, because I get it. Alice is busy. She got a whole production. But I'm also like, you didn't sense something was weird while you were away in New York? Like, you didn't sense, like, text ain't coming back at the same amount of time? Like, she ain't hitting your phone up the same? You got sent to ignore when y'all would typically talk? I mean, I don't know. I feel like I would notice a pattern.
Yo, Vintage Inspiration, I am seeing you in this chat, and we are going to get to these points because I feel you. One, note to the whole episode. That's hilarious.
That's what we started.
But also, yes, I totally agree. Same thing with Micah. We're going to get on Micah in a minute.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because Micah tried it.
Micah is a mess.
Okay. All right. I wanted to mention from your favorite scene, though, that Bette telling Alice that she should tell Tom what's up is a total role reversal in their friendship. Because it is typically Alice telling Bette, like, you're cheating, you need to come clean, you know, what's going on. She has outed Bette as a cheater. She has shamed Bette for being a cheater. She has brought up the fact that Bette had cheated on her, and that's why they ended. So I thought it was funny to see Bette get to play that other role of like, okay.
Is this growth in it? Or is Bette just being petty?
I think she's happy to see a reflection.
She's like, oh, it ain't me. It ain't me. It's you today.
I'm not projecting. I'm just saying.
That's fair.
My favorite moment was, I mean, I'm with you, Vintage Inspiration, Bette and Pippa. And specifically this final scene with them where they're laying together and Pippa says to Bette, like, it's possible to burn something down and still leave something standing. And that got me so excited. Like, what are these two power ass top bitches going to do together? And yeah, I'm excited by the giddiness and the glee that Bette causes in Pippa, in the way that she, like, wants to stay mad, but she also really wants to believe in Bette. And I'm really excited about the way that Pippa keeps Bette on her toes. Like, Bette is really having to work and confront herself and stand up for herself and realize when she's like, you know, I'm saying, you know, I'm standing up for the whole Black community, but actually this is also about me. And in that, I realize I need to protect and still care for you, despite the ways that I'm trying to avenge things for myself and my own family and my sister being gone and all of that. And I just thought, this is a beautiful conundrum. I still think the episode read a little like dragging, but there were some good nuggets in there to move us along. So yeah, Bette and Pippa, I'm with. A little bun about to fall.
You good?
I'm good.
Hold on, makeup, hair and makeup. Hair and makeup.
Hey, Jack T. Welcome to the conversation.
Oh my God, I love this comment. That scene definitely looked like it smelled like Uncle Fletcher.
It did. Oh my God, when she hugged her,
That was funny.
and she kind of like, Pippa lingered in Bette's hair, I immediately thought like, it's the hair oil. She got a special hair oil
She totally said that. She said, it's the oil. It's the hair. Like,
and I was like, I don't think Bette has the texture that she need a lot, so she just did a little mister.
Yeah. She got her Talia Wajid.
She not ready for this.
Okay, let me stop. Yo, that was funny. Hey, yo, shout out Jack T. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, yes. I don't know what to do with him. We'll figure out if we like him in real life.
Yes. Who is your woman crush?
Yo, my woman crush has to go to Claudia this week.
Hey.
I really love Claudia. Honestly, I loved Claudia from the beginning.
She's a cutie.
Well, yeah, she's cute as hell, and the sassiness and just like the matter of factness and like I'm not backing down at where I am and everything that I'm saying, like nothing that I'm saying is bullshit. Rather, like not everything when I'm saying, yeah, everything that I'm saying is real. Nothing is bullshit. That was the line I was trying to get out.
And I'm certified, bitch. I'm qualified to be saying these things.
You know, so yeah, Claudia was dope. And I think, am I going to talk about that later? I don't know. That was that scene between Micah and Claudia and figuring it out. I thought that was,
they baited us.
I got fingers for Micah. Okay?
I felt baited.
I got fingers for Micah. 2 of them, but I don't know. Claudia was my woman crush.
My woman crush this week is Alice. Alice, because when Alice has to like humble herself and be vulnerable, and it's really endearing, and it looks good on her. I mean, I love seeing Alice being a boss bitch. She looked great at her book release. The dress, I was feeling it. Dramatic shoulders. You know, her outfits have been killing it for this season and last.
Alice was not that fresh in OGO word.
No, she wasn't fresh. She was quirky, and I've always loved Alice's style.
I'll take that, but whoever decided that Alice is going to be like Bette Porter realness styles on like the eye of fashion,
yeah,
who chose that? I mean, because I'm like, she was not even in her like quirkiness. She wasn't like putting fits.
No,
together.
But she didn't really have it together. I mean, she was podcasting, and this is, I mean, clearly what we're doing right now, but she was more so like grassroots in it, like starting her own podcast, starting the chart, you know, really trying to do her journalism newspaper thing. Like, she didn't have a lot. She always had a very simple apartment, like simple life. I don't think she had the income to boss up. Like, now she got a wardrobe specialist. She got a stylist.
And I think that's where I'm at. I'm like, is there a wardrobe specialist?
Definitely.
Or has this always been Alice, but she was broke? You know what I mean? Like, where did this sense of style come from? Because I want to meet Alice's stylist if it isn't Alice's brilliance. You know, I've kind of like, because of her quick wit, you know, it feels like, okay, she could be styling herself. You know, maybe like Bette has rubbed off, but
maybe
where did that come from?
But she is wearing it.
She comes with fits, like
she comes
every
with fits,
time.
and I feel like the way she wears the fit, it looks good. It
does,
and I don't even be standing for like thin white women like that. I don't, but I think Alice, it's the energy that she brings with each costume. I think she does it.
Yeah.
So Alice was my woman crush this week. And I went back and listened to Her, which was her band that she is in. So I'm feeling Alice this week. I'm back in my mode. I like 2011. Shantae.
Word. No man.
So what should stay and what should go?
Stay. Bette and Pippa fighting for their place in the art world. Bette and Pippa kicking butt, taking names, figuring it out together, not backing down on their ideals, and bam. I want to see more of that. I love it. What can go? Micah hoe ass, okay?
Micah.
Like, Micah, why is Micah acting like that? Like, I'm conflicted by Micah because I think Micah's character, I like the stories that are coming out and the trans representation that comes out of Micah's presence. But Micah not knowing what to do unless somebody pushes his ass off
every time
into the next thing is just like, Micah. Like, I really didn't like how he did Claudia in this. And I mean, I know, I'm not saying that I think it was intentional, but the whole inviting Claudia to dinner, which one didn't have to do. Micah did not have to do that.
Didn't have.
Get what
Could
he
have
needed
said,
off his chest.
let's meet tomorrow. You know,
over coffee.
Over coffee.
You know, let's grab something light.
Let's grab lunch, which is very like business appropriate.
The whole come to my house, I'm going to cook steaks, aka almost set the house on fire. Actually end up just cooking quesadillas, a 2-ingredient meal. I'm like, boo. But yeah, I wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan of how Micah was acting in this episode.
And then acting so into her up until the kiss. Like, you kiss her and then you're like, oh yeah, actually I want to be with this other woman. Like, how insulting. And do you know how many people have probably wasted this woman's time?
Yeah. Yeah.
And she was already showing that she liked you. She knew who you were when you walked into the office.
Period.
She already said, I've been here standing for my fellow trans people, and I'm so glad I'm not the only one here now. I care about your clients, so don't try to out-empathy me. And I think you're cute, and I want to give you a try. And then you come, you do all the shenanigans, you get to the kiss, and then you're like, actually, Maribel, like, no, why didn't you call Maribel to begin with? Why am I here?
Yeah.
Why am I here? I'm not here for you to, bounce your ideas for your future off of. I mean, kind of that's what every date is. But I understand when it doesn't go well, it's just like, if you had an inkling that you were not over somebody, why are you using me to try to get over them?
I think, I think we've all been in a situation where you've been with a person and you realize, like, okay, this ain't it. I want something else. But then to be like, to kiss somebody and then to be like, oh, actually, yuck.
And it's somebody else. Date ending right now. You couldn't even finish off and give her a good night. Like, I mean, I'm not saying Micah should have fucked Claudia or anything, but I think they could have finished having a nice night.
Have an adult nice night. Like, just say, you know what, log it. I know this ain't for me, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure that you go home, you feel good, you remember this moment. It was cool. I can tell you exactly why it isn't working out later.
Yeah.
I can tell you, like, honestly, truth be told, I have feelings for somebody else. Boom, boom, boom. But to kiss somebody and then be like, actually, yucky. Like,
just doesn't taste like Maribel.
That was so mean. That was just so mean to me. I didn't like it.
No.
So that can go.
Yeah. Micah needs to learn how to have some confidence, say what he means when it's time to say it, and stop dancing around things.
Yeah. And I feel like also like using Maribel in a way to be that person, to be like, Maribel can kick me into shape. And it's just like, stop.
Does she want to do that?
Maribel doesn't need to be your parent telling you what to do and how to act. Like,
and when is she going to be sick of that? Because maybe that's why she's not super pressed about you right now.
Yeah. I don't know. That can go. And you know what? I'm curious. Is Love and Basketball like that big a movie?
Yes.
For everybody? I mean, hold on. What I mean by that is, like, I feel like in the Black community, yes. Boom. But to see it in non-Black communities as like, no, this is like play for your heart. I had no idea. I feel like I'm learning something or this is a lie. Like, what is it? Am I learning a truth that like Asian communities, Afro-Latina communities, like care about love and basketball in the same way the Black community does?
I don't want to say that they care about it in the same way that the Black community does, but I think that it is often that other people of color who don't have as much representation do see or find ways to see themselves in Black media. And I feel like Love and Basketball is like the most classic love story in Black media that we have, like most contemporary classic love story that's like across, and that is about somebody who's not seen for what they're really good at, which I also think Maribel might really identify with.
She kicking that shit, y'all. Do you hear her? She's talking that shit. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
So, I think Love and Basketball might be that quintessential movie where it's just like, if I don't have, a Latina version of Love and Basketball, which I don't know of one that's mainstream enough that it would be like, and this person in the Asian community also knows what I'm talking about. Maybe.
Okay. That's real. I'll leave it there.
Who can go is Sophie. Okay.
Ooh.
And I feel Sophie in some ways. Okay, so the whole thing is like Sophie just did this whole like, I want to be with Finley and I'm not going to be ashamed, and I'll even say it in front of my nearly, ex-wife. I'll say it in front of my ex-fiance that I want to be with Finley. Then Finley drives her home, cops DUI, night in jail. Not that Sophie spends the night in jail. And then it's like looking at Finley like, do I have to babysit you? Do I have to mother you? Do you even care about me? You've driven drunk with me. And all of that I think is legit. What I don't think is legit is you have known Finley this whole time. We all watched Finley be a wreck last season. You were her roommate. You knew she was a hot ass mess. You knew that's why she crashed your goddamn wedding. So you knew she does these impulsive things. She's not always thinking soberly. And now you want to punish her with it. You want to shame her for it. You want her to change her behavior. And I do think Finley needs to change. But I also think, Sophie, like the way you came at this is like, yesterday Finley was awesome. Today she's total trash and a disappointment. Like, yeah, that's why she left and walked away and hasn't come home.
Yeah.
Why would she come home to you? You'd flip the script and you clearly don't know what you want and what would be good for you, because why are we in this situation?
Yeah.
You know who she is and you're an enabler. And now you're upset that she won't get it together.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you wanted somebody who had it together,
you
were with her. And Dani don't even have it fully together, but you were with somebody who's
not going to drunk drive you home.
Yeah.
And if she is going to drunk drive you home, she's going to buy her car out because it's fine.
Yeah.
She's going to pay for it.
Now she's going to get her record expunged. She's going to like do all the things so that this never comes back up. She's not going to laugh and joke at your place of work about how she spent the night in jail.
Yo, can I just jump on Finley right quick? Because Finley kind of like irked the fuck out of me when she went on that whole thing about jail people, or and just saying like jail people, and I'm like, bitch, you a jail person.
Yeah. Like, you.
That just sounded so like conservative, buttfuck, middle America, dumb shit. Like, yeah, I don't know. That was so weird to say, like, ew, jail people. And it's like, Finley, you barely have a job. Everybody is throwing you bones like a motherfucker.
I was honestly surprised this wasn't like a familiar experience for Finley.
Yeah. So I'm like, Finley, you barely have anything together. In fact, everybody has it together but you.
Yeah.
And you want to talk about people. If I was Sophie, I'd have left her off that. Like, actually.
Yeah.
Stop.
Well, what can stay is always more Pippa, more Bette. I love it. I do want to see what happens with Alice and Tom, and I'm really excited about their teasing to Alice now having to like publicly identify and what that's going to mean, because actually I'm gonna hold that because I think it feeds into our next clip. I'm gonna go for it. Yeah. So where does this fit in the queer canon?
Wait.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, because I think I said what can definitely go. I didn't go into what can stay.
Okay, I'm gonna hold this.
My bad.
What can stay?
My bad. What can stay? I'm not even ready to answer this question. I mean, obviously, the Bette Pippa situation, the Bippa situation can continue.
What about Gigi Dani? You want more of that?
And
actually, okay, while you're trying to remember, there's something else that can go. Gigi coming in giving people advice about their family relationships when she ain't been around more than 5 minutes. Why are you doing that?
Oh my gosh, I hate it. Yes, actually another yes can go. That moment when Gigi and Dani were together. Dani gets his phone call about the everything, and her dad is like, we got to figure out what we're doing with this museum exhibit thing that we put together, and Gigi telling people what they need to do. It's like, Gigi,
get out of my family.
And then she really wanted to hold on to the attitude, like, yeah, no, I didn't come back to your house, even though I made plans and said that I was going to show up because I didn't want to get blown up at again. And it's like, you're saying this like you were asking Dani legitimate questions. Yeah. Like, you actually have no idea what's going on. This is... like, if you trust Dani's intelligence whatsoever, you'll actually just let her do what she feels in her gut she needs to do. So I can wrap that up too. But what can stay?
So we've concluded Bette and Pippa is the only thing that needs to stay. Everything else, no.
Yeah, I think.
What about Tess and Shane? I don't even know. You want more of that? I don't care yet, but
you know what? That was actually beautiful. Actually, you know what? I love that, and I haven't really given too much time and attention to Tess and Shane because of the show that we do.
it's about the people of color, y'all.
But I approve this message, and shout out y'all. Keep doing y'all thing. I want to know what happens with Micah when he brings his ass back into work on Monday.
Oh, I do want to know. What is Claudia about to do? That can stay.
That storyline where he has to deal with those repercussions, I want to see that.
I do want to see that.
Yo, and I also want to shout out Tomatoes Verdes for just being in the chat. Yeah. I'm. It's like messages coming in, so it's kind of hard to see and talk at the same time. But shout out. I feel that in terms of So Tomatoes Verdes says, I'm excited about Tina asking Bette if is still in love with her for episode 9. Yeah, that's gonna be some good stuff. I'm excited to see what happens with that. Let's kick it back up after this episode because I feel like we had to plateau for a second.
Yeah, we had to handle some business,
Yeah, sort some things out before we take off to the next to the second leg of this ride.
Yes, because I definitely want to see what this follow-up was with Carrie. Talking about how Bette wasn't nice to me. Bette wasn't my friend.
That was so good.
She didn't want to sit next to me at the lunch table.
They worked so much craziness into that episode, and without without including a wedding takeover. You know what I'm saying? Without doing something that's like, wait, what? How do we get here? But I thought that was dope.
All right, where does this fit in the queer canon?
Boom. I think this episode is important. I think, and I've talked about this before, but just trans love stories, continuing to go deeper with that, where it's not just a one episode, but we see all sorts of different pieces of this story. I'm really excited about that. And I don't know. I think it was dope too to see somebody fighting for the love of somebody who's in a wheelchair, because I don't feel like I see that often. You know what I'm saying? If ever, and to have somebody to say, actually, I'm putting it all in the line. I'm stopping this. I'm going to go in and say, I want to fight for your love, and I want to fight for this thing that we have. I think that's beautiful, and that it's a queer story too. Shout out. Thank you.
It is.
Thank you.
It is beautiful. I think this conversation of, and where I'm going with the queer canon is sort of where I think the story is headed towards, and that's the story of Alice and Tom, and this conversation of exclusion of bisexual people or people who go into heterosexual or heteronormative relationships. I don't want to say her relationship is going to be heteronormative, but a heterosexual relationship when you have been so integral and so intertwined within the queer community. And I'm really excited for them to tackle this because I feel like it's something that you hear all the time, like, oh, well, yeah, she's queer, but she's married to a man now. So, like, no more invites to the parties. You're not a part of the barbecue. You're out of the conversation. The group text changes. All these things. And I think that's happening less and less, but I think it's something that is really hard to contend with. It's kind of like when you have Black people who are together and then somebody in the friend group marries somebody white and all of a sudden they are part of this group that isn't getting marginalized in the same way, that doesn't have the same experiences, that isn't the reason why maybe it's that little piece of glue that brought us all together to begin with. Now this piece is different from you for you. And do we even feel safe with you in the space? Can you represent us anymore? And that's such a huge thing for any one individual to try to take on and be free at the same time. And I feel like so much of queerness is about accessing your freedom, but so much of queerness is also about keeping others out who have somehow tried to interrupt this freedom. And I think it's a conversation we need to have. I think it's a conversation I have to keep having with myself because I can definitely sometimes be like, I don't want to talk about it because you're not even gay no more. And it's like, that's not what's happening. And I'm excited to see more of the intricacies of what's really happening for Alice versus like what the public is going to do with that. You're supposed to be a queer icon. And now you're with a dude. That's tough. That's tough because how do you choose yourself? How do you choose love when you're also expected to choose identity?
Oh my gosh. That was great. I'm really excited for that. You know, and I mentioned earlier about, I'm sorry, this is earlier as in a previous conversation before we got on air.
We be talking in real life, y'all.
Yeah. I thought it was really interesting to have this hetero relationship on a show called The Lesbian Word. You know what I mean? Essentially, like to have this because I don't know this, but I was curious because I didn't watch Queer as Folk when that was that, but as like a comparable show,
like Noah's Ark or something,
that came out, you know, around the time when original L Word was on. It's like, what shows do you watch where you get to see shows that are geared towards a gay audience? Period. But then you see, a gay male audience, but then you see a dude fall in love with a woman or start an attraction to a woman. I've never seen that. Not
already with a woman trying to figure out stuff with dudes.
Right. But a dude who is with men, I've been with men most of my life, and then all of a sudden I meet this woman that I'm interested in. And I have to battle with those feelings because of how I'm seen in the world. Like, I don't know, to me, that made the L Word an even more powerful show. It kind of shows, like, if women are going to tackle the subject, women can tackle the, like, gold stars and tackle the women who are like, maybe I'll sprinkle here and there, but that's just life. I'm just living my life. And that to me is a true expression of freedom as opposed to seeing people have to continue an identity for somebody else's opinion. You know, Alice is in a place where she is this gay icon, but is still open enough to be like, hey, things happen. I don't know. I just love the fact that the conversation is there. The space is open. We'll figure out what happens. But I've never seen this type of real shit on a gay man show. On a show for gay men where we're, willing to see a gay man fall for a woman. I think it's dope. It makes us who we are.
Yes, I love it. All right, so let's see what else is happening in this chat. Okay, Danny saying Bet back down, and Gigi saying, oh, okay. So I don't think Bet backed down. I think Bet played a new card. She played a new card. Yeah, I think Bet has got something in her back pocket because she always does. I think she needed to fold in a way that made sure that she didn't lose Pippa and let Pippa know, like, I'm still fighting for you.
She did.
But
She said, "I'm gonna hit up the Peabodys."
yes.
Did you hear that in this episode?
I cannot wait. I want a Helena sighting. Bring it back.
Helena Peabody's coming back. I feel like I feel
with that check ready to go.
Cha-ching.
Because Helena put money behind Kit when Kit jumped in and saved the planet and, you know, brought it back. Helena was right there like, yes. This needs to happen. So I'm so excited for that family dynamic to continue. And I'm excited for that conversation of, okay, we have the Nunezes who are, you know, Latinx folk. And we have the fact that they are now in this contentious war about Black artists. And those are the most interesting conversations to me around race, is when it is not just like a quote unquote white person versus a quote unquote Black person or Black community. Is like, no, these identities are definitely intersectional, and we have complicated issues happening. And it is so interesting to have Dani, who's fighting for her name to mean something new, and Bet, who's fighting for this name means something, and I have to protect the people who this name has gone against. And that's happening all the time, every day. We know that's happening in the real world level for social justice and art advocacy and all of that, and philanthropy and the evils of philanthropy. Ooh.
Like, you know what? We don't even go.
We
already going long.
I'm not even at work, so
we already going long.
Yes. All right. So, lots more stuff that's coming next week. Thanks, Jag T, for bringing that up. About Dani thinking that Bet has backed down. I don't think that's real.
Man, you know, I'm gonna stop talking, but I did love that moment when just the line of Dani saying, like, you know, it's my name too.
Yeah.
And what does that mean for my name? I would love to have a continued like conversation around what does that mean when the child of somebody who we have problems with wants to be different or is attempting to show some sort of difference. Do we respect it or not? Like, how many chances does the Nunez family get? I don't know. I don't know.
We're gonna see.
So
awesome. Well, woo! All right, we talked through a lot.
Sure.
The chat is going off. Thank you so much for bringing y'all energy to this. Y'all are cracking me up. Also, there's another show coming.
Yes.
For us. So 20s, which was created by Lena Waithe. Lena Waithe is out here creating awesome shows, y'all. So if you haven't seen Master of None,
I really enjoyed watching Master of None this past season.
Bring a tissue box, because they take you on a ride. The Shy season 3 and 4 are, I'm loving. Oh my gosh, this marriage between these women and the real issues that come in and the way they have to navigate, like, being newly. They don't even get a chance to be newlyweds because real life is happening, but they have to create these family dynamics and navigate those. Like, I'm loving that storyline. And Lena Waithe is coming back October 13th. October 13th. 20s season 2 is coming. And this is the only show that I know of that centers a masculine Black lesbian. It's the only one that I know of on prime, on like,
yes, on BET, on cable television. You got to pay for this channel. You want to watch this high production value, put a lot of money into this show. Watch 20s. Yeah, if you haven't seen the first season, please go back and watch it.
It's great
so
writing.
When we start talking about it on the 13th or that week,
yes,
you can come in and tune in with us.
And your straight friends can watch it too, because there's a beautiful cast. First of all, the cast is gorgeous.
Yes.
Looks too good. It's a lot of storylines happening, even though, you know, we're centered on this Black masculine woman and her journey through being a writer. But there's something in there, I think, for everybody. I think all your straight friends will love it too. So you can bring that girl that you're trying to get with who thinks she's still straight. You can watch this with her.
Oh, Lord. Look, she is still straight, okay? Leave her alone.
Leave her alone. But after you watch the show.
She is still straight. Leave her alone, okay? All right, y'all. The name of the show is called 20s, and it's spelled out like the word 20s, not the number 20s.
Yeah. BET October 13th. Make sure you watch it because we got to support so this stuff can keep coming back. And the writing's great.
I see you, Dag T. We probably do need a longer time period, you know? But yeah, thank you again for tuning in. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and do all that good stuff. If you're watching this on replay, do all that good stuff. Yeah. Thank you so much for everybody who tuned in with us.
Absolutely. And check out past episodes because we cover all of season 1 of 20s.
Of 20s, yeah.
And then if you're looking for other shows to watch, we cover web series. We've covered short films. So if you are like, I just finished the series and I can't wait for this next Elware episode to drop, check out some of the other content that's out there.
Yeah, we've done interviews with folks too on different like really important queer shows that are out here and available to watch. So yeah, check out what we have in our archives on our YouTube page, and we'll check in next week. Shout out to Bread House for having us and hosting us again. Here, Bread House is a recording studio in Detroit, Michigan, which I am on, and we make music and produce shows like this. So if you like it, check out the artists, Al Wu, King Call. We're doing our thing. So and we did the 20s plug. We shouted out our new people. Oh my gosh, it's so many things.
We want to know who's your woman crush this week. If you're feeling Claudia and we need her to come back, let us know. We have no problem. I definitely do.
So I think we do have power. If we demand it, I think we can make it happen.
If the L Word don't bring her back, I'm like, we gonna have to raise funds and we make a Claudia show. Boom.
Word. Yo, well, until next time, thank you so much for joining us, y'all. We love you. And peace.